Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. I wanted to spend some time in a semi-channeled state discussing the Ascension to begin a classroom setting for your ascension into the higher realms. Now is the time for you to become aware and to move in to 5D energy. The new earth is available to you, and there are a variety of resources that can help you. The most powerful is to tune into your higher self. Your higher self will guide you with the wisdom that it needs to enable you to move to this new dimension that is now available to all. This discussion is nothing new. Let's say it's a reintroduction to something you have known on some level of yourselves for a very long time. So please make yourselves comfortable and be relaxed. We will be introducing you to the ascension process for this episode. The first class is always the most challenging. There's so much to discuss that it is difficult to know where to begin. But with your help in the form of questions, we will generally end up taking care of most of the information you need to know regarding the ascension and these times that you're living in. These times are quite extraordinary. What is occurring now as we enter the new earth has not occurred on this world before. It is a transformation. There is an incredible amount of growth available. The opportunity to take a quantum jump into higher consciousness is now here for you. You may have a certain awareness of this in your lives. You may be in your own way experiencing a quickening of growth, a heart opening, more love and light in your life, a greater desire to know the truth. This is a result of this increased energy that is now occurring. This new light particle that is packed with more information that you can now access. What I am here to talk about, as well as many others who will speak to you, is the completion or goal of all this transformation. You're not here on this planet to endlessly grow and process your emotions. This is part of a larger picture. This is part of a growth towards a completion. And now, at this time, through a special dispensation of the Father Creator of the universe and all the universes, we are putting out a call to those beings such as yourselves, those light workers and starseeds, who will be the first to learn about this opportunity to return to their true states of awareness, their true identity. This will culminate in the Ascension experience. What is Ascension? It is a great evolutionary leap. In general, you could say it is a leap from third-dimensional reality into a fifth-dimensional or higher state of consciousness. Third-dimensional reality being what you now see and hear and taste and experience with your senses. All that appears to be solid, or having this dimensionality of solidness. I would like to include this definition, though there are more fourth-dimensional manifestations, as well as a understanding of fourth density light. Thoughts and ideas, emotions, all of which are existing in this planetary realm. You might say that the fifth dimension or higher, the ascended state, is a state of increased frequency of vibration. It is as if you have a prism and you shine white light through the prism, breaking it into many various colors, various wavelengths of light. You could say that the third dimensional existence as you know it relates to the visible spectrum of light that you can see with your eyes, from the violet through the other colors. Ascension is a matter of going beyond this limited spectrum of experience. The nature of the universe does not change. The laws of physics do not change, but you expand and increase your frequency of vibration and your consciousness to a point where you can see those colors and move into those realms that are now invisible to you. Part of this process is an awakening to your potentials, your hidden potentials. They've been hidden quite well, have they not? You've been using a certain percentage of your gray matter. Some of you are more aware through meditation and psychic powers, but nevertheless, you have been existing within a certain very limited framework of consciousness. So another difference between an ascended being and yourself is that we have a 100% mental capacity fully operating in our consciousness in this 5D reality. And you have much less at this moment. I would say you use only 10 to 15%. Maybe I will give some of you the benefit of the doubt and say that you have used up to 20%. Congratulations. But you see, there's a great deal more for you to be aware of, a great deal more for you to experience. And it is very enjoyable to do so. It is very blissful and peaceful to be merged with this loving presence of the Father, continually to be one with the Creator. So an ascended being is one who has made that quantum jump, that leap, who has at least attained to the level of the fifth dimension, who has gone beyond birth and death, who has attained that state of immortality wherein consciousness will no longer be broken by the sleep you know of as death. Neither is there aging. You've seen pictures of ascended masters and they look the same pretty much all the time. So an aspect of ascension is that you will be free of birth and death. You'll be free of all the limitations of third dimensional reality. This transformation is not something that is intended to be selective for a very few individuals. It is something which is now occurring on a planetary scale. It is something that is going to be available to all human beings in this lifetime in a very short time. You are hearing about it. You are in the first wave of those who have heard about it, of those who are interested. That's why you're listening to this episode. So this is not something that is an option for you. Only the timing is optional. This is not a new automobile that I am selling you that you can decide whether to purchase or not. I am telling you something that is going to occur and is going to happen one way or the other. And it is for you to align yourselves and to open the transformation if you wish to be among the first to take that leap of consciousness. So why are you the first? Why are there so few who are ready to hear about it at this time? Why are you so different? Why are your hearts a little bit more open? Why is your mind a little bit more open to this possibility? It is because you have somewhat higher origins. Those of you who are listening to this episode with me are what I would classify as light workers or starseeds. You are, believe it or not, very evolved beings. You are all so very beautiful and courageous beings. You are among those who chose to leave the ascended state to come here, to take third dimensional incarnations many thousands of years ago, in some cases, in order that you might assist humanity, in order that you might assist in the transformation of this planet. It is time for you to realize your origins to some extent and to begin to appreciate yourselves for who you are, beyond your minds and your personalities, beyond your limited concepts of yourself. This is why you are among the first to hear this. This is why you are awake to the possibility. Many have heard these descriptions of the ascension, and for some reason they do not awaken to that. For some reason they are somewhat sleepy or disbelieving. Their time will come. Now it is your time. You followed me so far on this channel, and you've meditated with me, and we've gone over some very advanced teachings. So part of what we will be working on together in this series of episodes, for those of you who choose to continue onwards, is the unveiling of your own higher selves, the increased awareness of who you really are beyond your personalities and individual life experiences. You will begin to experience an expansion of your self-concept. You'll begin to feel a great deal more of your true presence, your higher self, as we do our best to connect you more strongly with that aspect of yourself. We're going to work on integrating you with that higher self so that you do not feel separate from God, your true self, so that you do not feel disempowered or helpless or lost here in this third-dimensional quagmire you call planet Earth experience. There are many benefits to this process. Indeed, it is a process, so I congratulate you for your openness this evening, for having the courage and openness to come and hear about this. I encourage you to ask whatever questions that you have about this. Put them in the comments. I will address them in future episodes. This is not an ordinary class that you are taking as you listen to me. This is not a workshop that will assist you in manifesting more money, although I have other episodes to help you do that. This in particular is a class that is cutting straight to the very essence of your being. It is very transformational. So what is occurring now that is different? Why is this time more powerful and intense? It is because the Earth itself is undergoing the initial phases of its transformation to the ascended state. The Earth is alive as a third-dimensional manifestation and has a very short time to continue. There will be incredible transformations of this planet and this solar system that you're inhabiting. All the atoms and molecules of the Earth, of the solar system, and of every being in existence on the Earth are transforming towards a higher frequency and will soon be in the fifth dimension of experience. This is why this is not an optional experience for you. If you are inhabiting the planet Earth, know that you are here at this time for a purpose. You are light workers, and you've been awaiting this time. A great deal has happened to you in your Earth lives. A lot of water under the bridge. A lot of lifetimes where you were trying your best to be ordinary citizens. Sometimes you were persecuted for being extraordinary citizens. Sometimes you were great teachers. Sometimes you were yogis and meditators in your caves. Sometimes you were white witches or any other sort of manifestation, trying your best to do your mission here, to channel the energy of God into the desert-like consciousness of the world. You have done a lot. You've been rather successful individuals, yet collectively, I would say, the change that was intended for this planet has not been proceeding as smoothly or as rapidly as we had hoped when this choice was made by you to incarnate here. So the original plan requires a little bit of a boost at this time. What has happened is that most of the starseeds have fallen asleep themselves. This is why the world is so sleepy and why even the starseeds are sleepy, because there is an aura of sleep and confusion which surrounds the planet. The light has not broken through fully yet, but is making great strides to do so. So I ask you to open the experience of your higher selves, your own divinity, and open to the possibility that you are ascended beings who descended at a certain time in history to do the work that you've been doing. And now is the time. Your internal alarm clock has gone off and awakened you. You heard the word ascension, or perhaps read some information about it, and your internal alarm clock went off. Something in you said, "This is for me." It is because you are programmed to awaken. You are programmed for this time, for you knew that no matter what occurred in your third-dimensional lifetime, you would not be left behind when the hierarchy came to elevate the consciousness and to lift and transform. So now is the time, and you are receiving your wake-up calls. You are waking up quite beautifully. There is more to do and experience. You will experience it. I will speak a little bit about the ascension process. You see, there's a great deal of involvement by different commands and extraterrestrial masters and higher density beings. I believe there are many ships surrounding the Earth, as we are told in a number of channelings. They are not visible to you because they are in higher dimensions. They are not visible to your earthly radar. They are not visible to satellites, telescopes, or space shuttles, but let me say the skies are swarming with ascended beings at this time who have been assisting with this work, clearly. So what is the process? You've grown accustomed to reincarnational experience, that is, having your soul incarnate into a body and going through a lifetime of a certain number of years experiencing death and leaving your body to return again to the earth. I've discussed reincarnation in a variety of different episodes through other teachers who have questioned whether or not it's relevant, such as Joseph Murphy. But in my internal knowing, I know that that has been my path. I have been through a number of lives. You've gone to some fourth dimensional areas. There are heavens and hells and worlds within worlds, with many experiences. Yet always you return to the body, for this body is the platform from which your launch will take place into the fifth dimension, fourth density. This is the intention, let me say, of having a physical body at this time especially. I would say that your ascension will be all but identical to many others. You will not leave your body behind and go to a high state of consciousness. Your body will be transformed. The molecules and atoms, your subatomic particles, all that you are will be transformed and accelerated into the fifth dimension. So you do not have to die. That's what many different channel sources have indicated. Well, that's some good news. Despite the fact that human beings have grown so accustomed to dying that it has become common awareness or common belief, I am telling you now, you do not have to die. The actual experience of ascension involves the lifting of your vibrational frequencies, which culminate in the physical lifting of your body in a high state of consciousness from the planet's surface into the waiting light vehicles. And yes, I have read of a number of people who have attained their ascension in this manner. I've read a recent channeling from Lord Sananda, who claims that he attained his ascension lifted into light vehicles. You could say that he went up into a spaceship, if you prefer to view it as a spaceship. So your experience will be the same as many of these ascended masters, although your requirements will be somewhat less. Fortunately, you do not have to go through the trials and tests that many ascended masters did. What they went through was for all of us and for humanity. They paved the way for this process. And they have been waiting for you for a long time. So they are very excited to see the fruition of all the work they have been doing for thousands of years. For thousands of years. They have been waiting for this time. And they are very happy and excited that our wait is all but over, and that we will be reunited with those of our family. I'm speaking of you now, and we will have the opportunity to do some very vital work with the mass of humanity also. You will be lifted. You may call it evacuation or you may call it ascension. These terms are related, but the evacuation refers to the lifting of your physical form. The ascension refers to the experience of making the shift into the fifth dimension and beyond. I believe that people are going to start ascending into higher vehicles in physical bodies in states. Why do I believe this? Because that is what my higher self tells me is about to happen. It is a process with two phases. It is available to us. It's available due to the love of the Father for His creation, for all the innocent beings who are here, who have been here in this world, whose hearts are calling out for more love, truth, and light, who have been influenced by darkness and confusion. So my recommendation for you, if you're interested in this process and this sounding and feeling like the truth to you, prepare yourself. Open your heart and investigate this. Take the course that I'm offering you through this podcast. Open your heart and prepare yourself and investigate. I want to work with you on many levels. That's why I cover so many different topics, so many different bits of information that are coming through me to you. We will work with you intellectually, and I'll do my best to explain within the limitations of speech the information about the ascension as I understand it through my higher self. I will work within your heart, in your chakras, in your awakening, opening, balancing, in preparing you. It is your desire to be among the first. I will help to do this. In the book, The Crystal Stair by Eric Klein, he explains through a channeling that the current plan calls for 3 waves of ascension. The goal, as difficult as it may sound, is to have every human being on this planet experience the ascension in this lifetime. Obviously, it's doubtful that this will occur. But these beings and ascended masters are going to do their best to harvest as many as are ready. Therefore, there will be 3 waves of ascension, the first 2 waves being, for the most part, the returning of the starseeds to their true states, the reascending of you, who are originally ascended beings who have come here. It is my hope that many of those light workers who will awaken will avail themselves of the opportunity to be lifted in the first or second waves of ascension. The first wave is imminent. It is our hope that it will occur very soon. The sooner the better. Those who ascend within the first wave will be given the opportunity to return to Earth as ascended masters, to walk among humanity, teaching and performing miracles, sharing this incredible message. This is ultimately the purpose that you came here for. It is time for you to open the possibility that you can complete your Earth mission and do this work from a higher perspective, quite a bit more effectively than you've been, being as you have been enmeshed in third density life and its limitations. So upon the ascension of the first wave, there is an opportunity for choice. Many choices will be given to you. You can choose to return as an ascended master in a light body, having a body that is immortal, having the ability to materialize and dematerialize at will, to zip back and forth between light ships and the planet, to perform miracles, to create spontaneously out of the etheric substance, to heal, to do so many wonderful things. This is to attract a lot of attention. You haven't been attracting very much attention yet. All of your work, all of your meditations, and your sharing have done some good. But for the most part, it has only assisted in gathering the starseeds back together again. It has not had a great deal of effect on humanity as a whole. It is a bit more profound of an effect as you return as an ascended master and create quite a ruckus and a stir. Being in the ascended state, you will not be affected by negativity, doubt, fear, money, these sort of limitations. You will be able to be as radical and outrageous as you truly are and as you were before you took on the veil of third density. The veils will be lifted for you. This is one choice. This is the choice that I hope that many will accept in the coming days. I don't believe it'll be mandatory. If you, as a starseed, are offered the choice to ascend in the first wave and do some other service in another area, or to return your origins, that'll be perfectly acceptable. As ascended beings, you're always doing some form of service simply by being and showering your presence wherever you are. You have come from many different places, different levels of consciousness, different angelic realms, different states, and you will have the opportunity to return to your soul family and point of origin. If you have not felt comfortable and entirely at home on Earth, there's a good reason for this. And it is good, and it is a blessing that you have not. For it has kept you a little bit more awake and a little bit more hopeful of something more. So here, is the something more. It is coming your way on a silver platter with all the light and all the love. When I read all these incredible writings in Theosophy and in Gnostic Gospels, clearly there is a brotherhood, a hierarchy of beings that are working at this time. You've heard of this brotherhood. It is a service organization of beings who have ascended. They are coordinators of love. There's a great deal of activity by angelic hosts and other enlightened beings, archangels and their legions. All of them are dispatching dark forces who have taken control of the earth. So what we're about to see is a great deal that is about to occur. It has been occurring, but it is going to become much more physical and much more evident. That's what my higher self tells me. As the earth undergoes its transformation into the fifth dimension or the fourth density, both of those are the same thing. One is a realm of light and other is a place to go. There will be much more of a cataclysmic experience. There will be earthquakes and volcanic activities. Many of the transformations have begun. There's flooding and fire. This will continue. It will increase in intensity. It is part of the process of the Earth's transformation, and I'm not saying that to bring about fear. I think it's inevitable in a shift in consciousness. It must occur. One of the byproducts of it is that human beings will be shaken into another state of awareness. They'll begin to question their lives and will begin to be a bit more open. Many will resort to a state of fear and panic. And I believe these beings are here to save as many as they can from the death experience and complete the cycle of this planet. I believe that this is a very incredible experience to be a part of. So I'm inviting each of you to take part in this, not to ignore it, to take part in a big way. Not as an innocent bystander, but as an active participant to return to your mastery, to return to your God nature, to take back the powers you have been giving away in your third density experience, to reawaken the other 85% of your brain, to accelerate your atoms, to ascend, and to return to that full consciousness you have longed for so many lifetimes. Let's talk about the requirements for this. And obviously there are requirements, but we should use that word facetiously compared to the requirements for those who have ascended before this time. They're rather easy. That's what my higher self tells me. First of all, it is necessary to have some understanding of God or some experience of God, to have an open heart towards that aspect of your higher self. It does not matter so much how you philosophize or view this or label it, but to have an awareness of your creator, your higher self. You need to have an openness within your heart, to have an open heart, and as best you can, to love yourself unconditionally, for this is where it begins, and then to love unconditionally all that you see, all that you meet. In fact, to be a love radiator. Many of you are so beautiful, it is redundant for me to speak about this, but nevertheless, it is a requirement. It is not necessary for you to understand scientifically all that will occur in this ascension process. In fact, I don't think that anyone that is listening to me could grasp it without a great deal of education. It is not necessary for you to understand any more than the limited explanation that has already been given to you. It is more of an awareness, more of an expression of love in your heart, an openness to the process, and above all, a desire, a longing to return, a longing to know your true completion and to complete your spiritual growth here on earth. That's it. In reading all the Law of One channelings, we get the idea that we have to wait until after death in order to walk the stairway of light. But my higher self tells me that it is possible to ascend in this lifetime and to avoid death to move into a higher level of being. I'm telling you that I believe that's possible, that I have been made aware of it. You see, it's not very difficult. In fact, when the first wave of ascension occurs, if you're giving yourself to this process and during the ascension, you can have the experience of process even in your sleep. You do not need to become a great saint or a yogi or a guru. If you're not meditating now, I would encourage you to begin. If you are, I would encourage you to continue and to focus a little bit more on this. It is not necessary for any of you to attain perfect self-mastery. I don't think that's going to be possible within the time that is left anyway. Know that you are already saints. You are already gurus. Maybe that'll make it easier for you. Know that you are returning to who you truly are. It's within you, rather than developing some new aspect of yourself. Truly, you're going to see the veils removed around your own hearts and consciousness. Every day, the veil is removed just a little bit more. I guarantee it. It will occur very soon in your lifetime. We will take a great stride forward. Hopefully, we can share this information and enough of the experience that you will go through any doubts or confusion. Of course, your doubts will arise. I know you're doubting me now. You would not be human if you heard this information and did not have some skepticism about it. I encourage you to ask questions. Know that there is a part of you, your rational mind or your skeptical nature, which may never believe in this. I know that I sound different in this episode because I'm speaking from my higher self. When I'm in the research-oriented Brian that's doing an episode about something, you may notice I'm not even talking about reincarnation or ascension in the same way. But after I meditate and I connect to my higher self, I'm speaking with a validity and a level of experience and knowledge that is quite different. And I'm telling you, this is going to happen. I'm giving you a great deal of information and experience regarding the validity of this. Though there will always be a part of you that has a little gnawing doubt that it will ever be occurring or that it is even possible. I know that because I have this doubt and I voice this doubt to my higher self, and that's what I'm told. Know that you do not need to banish this part of your consciousness in order to have this experience. This is the part of you which will experience it when it happens, and then you will know. Above all, love yourself. I tell you, you are one. There are many manifestations of light workers and starseeds and many experiences. There are many starseeds, or light workers, as I call them, who are completely unaware of anything relating to spirituality or meditation or ascension. You might say they're in a state of varying degrees of sleep. This is not a criticism of them as individuals. It is merely a statement of the power and density that exists on planet Earth. The veils are very thick here. If you're not clear whether you're a starseed or light worker, it is not an indication that you're not one. I'm saying if you're listening to this episode, you are. Nor is it an indication that you're not going to have the opportunity to be an ascended being. You will have that opportunity. One of the aspects of unconditional love that is a requirement for this path is that you stop criticizing yourself. We all carry within us ways of criticizing or judging our behaviors and levels of success. It is time for you to all love yourselves unconditionally, as well as you can, regardless of how well you are performing against your ideal goals and expected ways of being. So for you, as an individual, I would say if you can do some meditation and continue to come to these episodes, I will work with you. If you continue through this course of different episodes on Ascension, you'll have quite an experience of awakening, quite an experience of your higher self, much more than you have yet experienced. This is my intent, and this is my promise to you. There is some exploration that needs to be done. It is the wisest course of action for any of you who are not quite certain about this, not quite sure of the truth of this. It is wise for you to continue to pursue this, to ask your questions, and to make a full and thorough investigation. If what I'm saying is true, you have a lot to gain by doing this. And what I'm saying is true. So I want to just open up the possibility within your mind of something greater happening, something significant and powerful that will transform your life. I want you to be aware of it. I want you to begin, and we will start going over some different channelings from different sources to help us undergo this ascension. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. Check out my art at newearth.art. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.